Hello?
Hi, Aida, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah. Hello.
Okay, yes. So, how is everything with you?
Good, good, thank you. How about you?
Yeah, it's better now. Yeah,
Feeling better?
yeah. Just
Okay.
having a good rest should be actually fix the problems.
Okay,
Um,
that's great.
okay. So, Aida, did you understand the exercise that you need to do?
And not really. That's why I wanted to discuss with you.
Okay. So it was
Mm-hmm.
a bit difficult.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I don't really
So
get it. Yeah.
okay, that's totally fine. So okay, let me try to.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need to push a bit towards understanding more JavaScript. So um,
Mm-hmm.
hmm, I will try to give you some of. We will dive a little bit deep into JavaScript. That will also allow me to know where is your limits, and I will work on
Mm-hmm.
improving that. I know that you have a specific request, which is you want to do a real project, right? I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But let me arrange that once I see that maybe in the next 2 or 3 classes, I will start today in giving you more details about JavaScript. Yes, but
Mm-hmm.
I will also show you how to actually put a file onto a shared server, which means that it is a web server where you are able
Mm-hmm.
to actually access that online. Okay, so I will show
Mm-hmm.
you also how you can attach a domain to a paid web server. Okay, and then we will see the details from there. Okay,
Okay, sure. Mm-hmm.
okay. So let me now dig into real details and try to understand from you. What do you understand about a variable? What is a variable?
Mm-hmm.
Any idea?
No, I forgot.
No problem. It's okay.
I
But
forgot about this. Yeah.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
but I would try to say
Mm-hmm.
the more you push your brain to try to remember everything, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just I don't need you to get every information in your brain, but you still have to. I'm not stressing you. Both of us are not putting a pressure on your
Mm-hmm.
internal feeling, but
Mm-hmm.
we need to stress your brain. We need to stress it so that it can find all the information and try to link it to what we are learning at the moment. So please don't tell me that you do not remember. Just tell me any information that you remember, and don't tell me no, because that is the lazy reply from your brain to
Okay.
just relieve the tension from him. But we don't want that. We want to stress him so that he can still recall back. Okay, that will save us time.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
So
Okay.
okay, so a variable is a place in the
Where we
memory.
store. Uh-huh.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
We store
So
information, is it?
yes. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
this place can actually vary in the size based on what we really want to store. So
Mm-hmm.
based on the something called data type that we will learn later, then we are able to say this container that can or this variable can
Mm-hmm.
be which size. Okay. So inside, did I ever show you how the RAM looks like from inside? No, I didn't.
No, no, you
Did I
didn't.
tell you that the RAM inside is divided into two areas? One, so this is so inside the RAM. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, it doesn't look really 100% like that, but the addresses in the RAM, it is like numbered, same like how our houses are numbered. So it
Uh-huh.
is 0, 1, 2, until billions, because there is
Yeah.
billions of locations inside the RAM. It's too big.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What we want to say is that for every location in the RAM, it have an address. Okay. Previous people, when maybe 60 years ago, when they started dealing with computers, there was nothing called variables at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Mm-hmm.
need to deal with the address directly. So they want to say, okay, they want to tell the computer at address 0, put 5. at address 1, put 6. And then at address 2, put the addition, the result of the adding 5 and 6. But they cannot directly say 5 and 6. They have to tell the computer, please go to address 0, bring whatever's there, and then go to address 1 and bring whatever's there and add it to whatever we fetched previously and store the result in address 2. So that is, so we are always talking about addresses. At the moment, we don't need to talk about addresses anymore because we are dealing with high-level language. The JavaScript is a high-level language. When you wanted to deal with addresses, that is called a low-level language. I know that you don't need to know about that at the moment, but this is just to show you how things are arranged in the RAM. So when I tell the computer, please reserve a place for a variable to me, so he will reserve a place also in the memory, but he will no longer make me busy. So assume that this is an address 10. He will longer busy me with the address of the memory location. The memory location is still there. We did not change how the computer works, but we assign a variable name. So let's assume that this is X. So internally, the JavaScript handle this complication for me. He tie the X to the location 10 in the memory in a table. So he have a table that have variable names and have addresses in the memory. So he will say X is located in address 10 and so on. So whenever you say X, let X equal 10 like that, so he will know that, oh, say since X is at address 10, so I will take this 10 or make it 20 so that you're not confused. So I will put this 20 in the address 10. So he will go here and put 20. But do you know, you as a high level or end user or end programmer who deal with a high level language, do you know which address? No, you don't know. And you don't need to know. It's a complication that you don't really need to take care of. Previous programmers who dealt with low level, they need to know that. Was I complicating the matter, or did I manage to simplify it somehow?
Yeah. I understood. Yeah. Okay.
Really understand?
Yeah.
Do you mind to? Yeah. Tell me what do you?
Before I didn't really get what does it mean all this, how it works, you know.
Okay.
What's the connection? Yeah.
Okay. So it's clear to you now. Everything is okay. Okay. So what we say that a variable is a container for a value like a number, and we might use in a sum or a string that is we might use part of a sentence. So, but anyhow, it is just a container that we are able to store something. But at the end, the container must fit whatever we want to put inside. Sometimes when you want to maybe put something big, so your container have to be big enough to really accommodate the variable size that you want to store inside. Okay, is that so? The locations in the memory are not the same. So if you are dealing with integers like that, so integers, which is just numbers like that, is actually have a size. And if you are dealing with maybe other data types like a string or things like that, so string is much bigger than, it takes much bigger space than actually integers. And if you have a float point, which means that a decimal number, which is something like that, this is a float. I know that maybe this is the first time that you hear about this, or maybe you hear about it, but maybe not a strong connection. I understand that. We will go through that later. But I just want to tell you that if you have something like that, this occupy more space in the memory than this. Why? Because the space to add this decimal point is actually, it needs more space than if you just store an integer like that. Okay? Did I make myself clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even the string is bigger than integer.
Yes, definitely, because a string can be a big sentence, right? Can be a paragraph. So
okay.
definitely it will take huge storage space other than the 10. Just let me understand. Uh, Again, we're still touching the surface. Do you know anything about the ASCII table?
Nope,
No
never
idea?
heard. No,
Mm-mm.
never.
Okay, so just in short, until I put it on the slides, I have it in other student slides, but not on your slide. What I want to say is that just be aware that whatever I'm touching to you now, um, uh, people who study in UK and US, especially, did you hear about IGCSE?
Not really. No.
So this IGCSE is a kind of a secondary school that certain students pursue in Malaysia, but this is typical in UK and sometimes in US. So at this
Okay.
level, students are in secondary school. They study a lot of basic things about computers, and many things that
Okay.
I'm touching you at the moment, they study it in details actually. Okay,
Okay.
so I know that because I'm teaching students in Malaysia and even outside this IGCSE. So I know that this is part of the syllabus that I teaching. So this ASCII table uh, is actually a bridge between what we as a human understand and what the computer really understand. Uh, okay, so we as a human understand characters, the character set, which is A, B, C, D, and so on. Okay, and of course there is also how to say there is other languages that is not that is other than English. So there is Arabic, there is Thai language, and there is other characters that is not in the English alphabet, which is 26 characters, right? So the ASCII table is a bridge for that. So computer from inside only understand numbers and ones and zeros like that. Okay, so the computer is an electronic circuit, it's a machine, and machine does not really understand characters. It have no meaning to the machine that you write A, B, C, D. No meaning. It is only meaningful to us. So there will be always something that need to bridge what we understand as a human and what the computer really understand and are able to save inside the hard disk and in the RAM. So this ASCII table is always in place. So everything is shown to you in the screen, like these kind of sentences that I'm putting here is actually not stored exactly the same way inside the computer. It is stored as ones or zeros, or to simplify the matter to you. So this is called binary. And you as a programmer, maybe you will have maybe only 1% or 2% chance, since you are talking about front end development, maybe only 1 or 2% chance that you need to touch on that. That's why I will not go into details unless we really need to in the future. But just to let you know that this kind of ones and zeros like that the computer really understand, we call it machine language. And this is we call it binary numbers. Did you hear about denary numbers before? What is a denary number? Don't be shy to say no. I understand that maybe you didn't study anything about computers, so I totally understand. No worries.
Not much. Yeah, I didn't really study about
Okay,
computer.
so everything that you studied in the math, you studied math, right? Definitely you studied
Yes.
some algebra, and so anything,
Yes.
and even simple math like 100 plus 1 equal 101, right? So these numbers that you dealt with is in computer, it's called denary. Why it is denary? Because it is so this is a number that is base 10. Okay, and this kind of numbers, they call it it's base 2. Why we say here base 10? Because this is the first number that the human ever invented, and he used his 10 hands to represent it. So he is telling this 10 say that the numbers that we are able to produce is there is maybe 10 possible combinations. So you have from 0 until 9, or you can say from 1 until 10. Okay, so the simplest that a human can understand, that we are able to have on our hand numbers from 1 until 10. So I would say that's why they call these numbers that we deal with in the calculators, in mathematical operations. This is called denary. So in computer, it is called denary. In math, they will not. They will tell you just it is just either an integer or a decimal point or so on. But here we call it denary. Is it okay so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So we said that this is a machine language. We don't need to really touch about it. So this ASCII table act as a bridge between the machine language, which is something that, let me try to clean that here. So this is tables that actually, so this is a table like that. Okay, that act as a bridge between the machine language, which is the thing that the computer really understand, and, for example, the character set like A, B, C, and maybe A small, B small, and C small. So every character from those are represented in the ASCII tables with a number. And this number is converted into ones and zeros behind your eyes. You don't know, you don't see that. So okay, first you write characters like that, but these characters cannot be stored inside the computer in this format. It is not understood in the computer. So if it need to be stored in the computer, so it need to pass through the ASCII table. We need to see, oh, the T is represented by which number. So and then we have a collection of numbers, and this number is converted to a machine language, which is ones and zeros that the computer understand, and then it is stored either in the permanent storage, which is your hard disk, so, or even your RAM, your memory. Okay, so and then if it need to be shown on the screen again, sorry, I apologize for the mistake here. So this is screen, not secret. So the screen is for us as a human, and we as a human can only understand character set and ABCD or 019, all this we can understand as a human. So we cannot see numbers instead of this. Our brain is not able to interpret that. So it means that every time we need to show something that is stored in the RAM, it have to also pass the opposite way. It have to be taken from ones and zero, translated through this table, and shown to us in the screen as characters.
Understood. Okay.
Is it clear, really?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Clear.
Okay, that is.
So that's why we for this variable we do this let or var, right? So the machine will understand, for example.
You're talking about let? You're talking about let specifically? No, let specifically, allow me to explain it in the next slides in details. But so the let and all these keywords is actually, how to say, it is a way to tell the machine what do you really want to do in a fixed way that he really can understand. But we don't really specifically write let just because of the ASCII table. It's because of other reasons. But anyway, we have to both agree that computers are dumb machines, very dumb machines, and it need how to say, detailed instructions to be able to achieve any work that we wanted to do. So it cannot assume anything on its own. And now things are advancing. They build this AI, but at the moment when in our small world, which is JavaScript, whatever you tell the computer, he will do. If you don't tell him, he will not assume. He will not take care of any mistakes. If you do a mistakes, he will behave strange. He will also produce faulty results. So it is based on you or your instructions to him, then he will behave based on that. So far, is it clear? I need to proceed or not yet?
Yeah, can proceed. It's clear.
Okay. Okay, so a variable is defined by a unique name, and we said that, okay, let me see. Okay. Okay, so variables, we are able to define variables using three kind of keywords: var, and let, and constant. Any idea what is the difference between var and let?
As I know, before was used to be var for variable.
Excellent. Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes.
And for now, they use let instead of var.
Okay. Excellent. Great.
New
What about constant?
A constant. I'm not sure. Constant. Constant is similar to let, if I'm not mistaken. The same.
True.
The same value.
Okay.
The same. Yeah, for information. To keep. Yeah.
But any difference between the let and the constant?
A let we can somehow change after, but constant not really.
Okay, that's excellent answer. Yes, yes, you nail it. Yeah, that's great. Okay,
great.
So okay, so I would like to tell you here that we need, again, the computer is dumb, so we need to follow certain formats when we introduce information or knowledge to build smartness in or to solve a problem using the computer language. So we need to use a keyword, and these possible keywords to define variables or to declare variables. So it's var, let, and constant, and then we put our variable name, okay, and then we put our initial value, okay. So this is called declaration. So when you don't put any value inside a variable, so it means that you declare it only. You tell the computer, please reserve a place for this variable name in the memory, but he did not yet know how big is that space. Okay, so when you start to assign a value to actually that variable, then he will know how big is the space, because he will know from the value that you put, is it a string, is it an integer, and so on. Okay. Okay, we move to the next. So yep, he is telling like what exactly you said, that we was using var before, and var was actually sometimes you can see code that is written a long time ago, and then you'll be able to see var in it. The point here is that this is a variable, and it's already assigned to a value. Okay, so this is an assignment. We take what is on the right side, we save it in the memory using that specific name. Okay, so but we declare the variable after we assign it. So this is allowed in var, and actually that is a problem. That's why they don't use it for the moment. Okay. So okay, now have a look. So you are not able to do the same with let. So if you want to use a variable using let, so you actually have to declare the variable first, not later. So you cannot assign something to the variable without declaring it. Okay. You know the difference between declaration and assignment so far?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so again, let me confirm that here, this is how to say, let me see here. So this is we are declaring a variable called a, and we are assigning something to it. Var allow us to redeclare the variable many times. So it means that we declare it a here, and we redeclare it again and we assign a new value to it. But actually, in let, this is not allowed. So you declare the variable once, and then you later can use it and maybe put a new values inside it, but you cannot redeclare it again. So this let and this var is used once when you declare the variable. So when you want to assign a value to it, so you just use the variable name and then you put whatever value that you put inside, like that. So this is assignment. So you declare once and then you assign multiple times, it's totally fine. But with var, it's allowed to redeclare, but in let, it's not allowed. Okay?
Okay, understood.
So, Aida, at the moment, what we are doing, since we are just touching the basics, I mean, there is no chance for me to allow you to write any code. But in typical, from my experience with my students, programming cannot be learned by eyes. So you need to be ready. Maybe we will do that in today's class, or maybe we start from it from the next class. You need every code that you see in front of your eyes here, you need to write it and tell me what output you find. So by doing so, things stick to your brain. So if you wait and just learn by eye, actually, I know for sure, based on experience, you will get stuck. I need to see that you're able to run the code that you see here on the slides, and you tell me the result. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'll try.
Yeah. So, okay. They say that var is function scoped, and let is a block scoped. So let us talk about that later. That will come on the slides when we talk about functions. But just remember that information for the moment, that var is a function scope. We will talk also about scope later. Let us move on. So constant. Okay. So constant is, you are not able to declare constant like this. That's not possible. You have to really assign a value when you declare the constant, because it cannot be changed. You are not allowed to put a new value after you declare and assign a constant. I think this is clear to you, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, we have naming rules for variables. So there is many naming rules. We will actually 3 of them. We can choose one of them and stick to it. So you need to always write your code using a fixed rule. Actually, it's not a rule. It is a common good practice. So you can either write variables with a small letters at the start, and the start of the second word need to be always capital. So my name. So name is different from mine. So it's possible to mark the second name with a capital, or to start in every new word with a capital. So that is another way. Or you can make it small, but separate them with underscore. So most of the time, most of the seniors stick to that. So in this code, or in these slides, and in this class, we will stick to that. So if you do that, is that wrong? No, it's your preference.
Yeah.
I mean, but we will follow that. Okay?
Sure. The first, okay.
Okay, so we will always use let, and we will use always a constant later, and we will use a camel case that I highlighted to you. Let us look at rules. So, okay, I will tell you what is allowed and what is not allowed when you are naming variables. So you are allowed actually to use characters and even numbers and underscore. It can contain $sign also. So all these 3 can be contained in a variable name. but we cannot use underscore at the start of the variable. And we don't use numbers at start of variables. Okay, so numbers underscore are not allowed at the start. It can be allowed in the middle. And also you also have to understand that variables are case sensitive. So my age, sorry again.
Sorry.
No problem. It's okay. Am I fast? Okay. I need to slow down.
No. Just my baby woke up.
No problem.
Okay. Done already settled. It's okay. We can continue.
Okay. So okay. What I wanted to say that variables are case sensitive, and this my age is actually different from this. So if I define two variables, my age and my age, of course they are the same characters, except that this is capital, this is not capital. So this is will be reserved a different place in the memory than this. The JavaScript considered these two as two different variables. They can contain two different information, and they are stored in a separate place in the RAM. So far clear?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Do you still recall that information?
Yeah.
From previous study?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we cannot use. There is certain reserved keywords in JavaScript, like var, the word function, the word let, for, while, do. All these reserved keywords that belong to the JavaScript language itself. We cannot use that to name our variables. So it means that you cannot say let var be equal 10. So now this var is a reserved keyword. You cannot say let if equal 1. So this if is actually a reserved keyword. Is that clear so far?
Clear, yes. Yeah.
Okay, that is good. Okay, so we are able, again, we are able to show information using many ways. But one of the most common ways that we will always use, especially for us as a programmers, because it's not seen by others, it is we use console.log. Okay, so anytime that we want to troubleshoot anything, or we want to know that if our code are really running correctly or not, so we'll use console.log. So this log is actually a method or a function, and we will know what is this console. So they say that this is an object, and we will learn also about object later. Did you hear or recall anything about what this object means?
The object, whether we can see it or not in from our code?
And no, it have no relation if you can see it or not. The console.log itself, yes, you cannot see it unless you open. Let me share with you, just to since we are already. Okay, can you see my screen? I believe you can see my screen. Can you?
Yeah. Yes.
So do you know how to get that screen?
You mean on the right? Yeah.
Yes, you know how to get that, right?
Yes, sir.
So everything we write in the console will appear here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Okay, that's great. So let me come back here. Okay. So it means that we are able to go fast from here. You already know how to inspect, how to see the console. Okay, so actually programming languages, as you know, that the Java is not the only programming language. Programming language, there is many of them, high-level languages. And what I want to say is that here that there is two types of programming language: strongly typed and weakly typed. So what is actually this kind of thing that you are telling us here? and that's quite not clear. So I would say, can you see that? So this is the data type. So, and this is the variable name, and this is assigning something to the variable. So I am telling the computer that this my variable named number is have an integer data type, and I am going to store integers inside it. So I am telling upfront that this is an integer, okay? And I'm telling upfront that this variable is a character, and I'm going to store a character inside it, inside this str variable, okay? But in JavaScript, we don't do that. So that is used mostly in Java, and Java is different from JavaScript, okay? Clear so far?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so in our weekly typed, we depend on the smartness of the JavaScript to detect for us automatically. So we say let number equal 100. So automatically he will check, is it this 100 is a number, or it is a string. So based on the double quotation or even the number here, he will smartly detect what kind of space and what kind of data type is this number. So okay, let us have a look here. So can you see here, he can also detect that this name is a variable of type string, so it can carry strings. Because why? He sees the double quotation here. So you no need to tell explicitly that this is a character or this is an integer, like other languages like Java. Okay. Clear so far?
Yes, clear.
Okay. Are you able to recall that from previous?
Yeah, remember this string.
Okay. So we have 7 types of variables in JavaScript. We will study about them. Let me see.
Okay.
So we have strings, we have numbers, and we have objects, we have Boolean, we have null, and we have undefined. Okay, and we have the last one that is called simple, but we will not study about it in these slides. So let's have a look here. Okay, if you want to know the type of any variable that you have, so you can use the keyword type of. So you are able to print that type of for your variable name. So you define the variable, JavaScript automatically detects what you already actually want to store inside it. And then you can know that by just typing or printing, trying to print out type of my variable. So just notice there is a space. There is a space here. So far,
there is or there is now?
There is a space.
There is? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Clear. Okay.
So okay, and now if I assign, so this is the same variable name. If I put another piece of code that say, just be aware, if you define my variable here, you cannot come again and redefine it. So it means that you have to remove that code first. Okay, and then when you put that code like this, and he detects that this is a string, so he will know that my variable is actually carrying a string. So you also try to use type of my variable. He will return to you a string. He will print string in the console. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say, typically, I would say that this need to be actually. So since we said you can see my screen. Okay. Can you please, since maybe I'm the one who typing at the moment, my variable equal, so that is my variable. So we say console, okay, dot log, and so type of, So if I run, I will save it. So when I first want to run it, I would say File and open in my default viewer. I know that your PP is different from that, but you still need to try that lines. So just be, I also try that with my students. If they don't write, they will not remember. So yes, I'm slightly skipping that you don't have to write this kind of small lines, and then we will start to do that on a later step, but you still need to write that. If you don't write that after the class, you will actually not remember. Okay.
Yeah.
So I will just show you. If I say open on the default viewer, so it will just immediately open for me here. Okay. But since I don't want to go here, and I don't want to say developer tools. I think you are aware of developer tools, right?
Oh, 1 second. I just want to type and see also.
Oops, you are not seeing my screen.
I do.
No, you are seeing, wait.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, wait.
Okay,
Sorry.
loading maybe.
When it is switch screens, especially it's not
Now
in
I
the
can see.
browser. Yes, you can see now that, okay, so again, let me try to, so this is more tools, developer tools. I think you already know it, just for confirmation. So you see here, the first thing that it appeared to me, string.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just an example of executing that line. If you don't write it, again, you will forget it. I would say we go back to the slides and try to continue. And okay, so this is a type of, okay, if you try this type of with, oops, I make a click, yeah. So let me try to get my pen here, yeah. So you notice that we did not put any value inside here. So when I say type of, so it means that he was not able to detect this is weakly typed. It means that he depend on the value that I store in my variable to detect, is it a string or a number or whatsoever. Okay, so at the moment, if I say type of my variable, he say undefined.
Undefined.
It's clear what is undefined? Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yes.
So, okay, let us talk about string types. So we are able to define strings using single quote like that. And we also able to use double quotation like that. And we are able to use these backticks. So do you see the difference between the backtick and this single quote, right? Okay, so let us see the difference. And when, okay, so single and double quotes are used to create actually single line strings. And but if we want to actually use double quotation inside a string, so we have to use the alternate single quote. So if you put double quotation inside the string and you want it to appear as a double quotation inside, so you want the string itself to be printed with this double quotation. Okay, typically when we print anything between double quotation, the quotation does not appear in the printing, right? Is it clear?
Double quotation cannot appear, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, wait. I think that needs.
Can show.
Yep. Let me try here. So, okay. If I try to print, so I think you still didn't see my screen. So I think here.
Can I see? I now can.
Yeah. So, okay, I already typed my var, or yeah, maybe I put my name, but I'm not sure if I ever use it. No. Yeah, never mind. Okay, so what I want to say is that, okay, so I say my name here like that. So, okay, I print it and I save, and then I go here, and I believe I need to share with you. So if I share like that, can you see? I just need to make a refresh like that. I need to press refresh. So he said my name has already been declared, so he does not accept it. So I would say I need to change the name. So let me go back to change the name. Oops. I think you can see now. So I would say, just to make sure that this is a unique name. So I will say like that. And then I will also use the chance here that I put that in a single quotation here. So let me try to put now this in a double quotation, and let's have a look at the output. So let me share. Okay, I believe. So can you see now the output? So typically, when you put anything between double quotation, typically, so this Aida, I already put it in between a single quote, right?
Yeah.
But the single quote is not printed normally. It is just a marking for the computer to know where is the start and where is the end of the string.
Okay.
But now it is clear that how we print the double quotation inside. Okay, that's good. Okay. Okay. So there is another way. Okay. So you have to understand the computer is dumb. You need to really take him little by little. So it means that, okay, so this is one way that you can use single quote with a double quotation inside to let him know that this single quote is the start of the string and this is the end. And this is something that you really need to see printed out. Okay. But there is another way to use the escape character. So you warn him that the character, if you put this escape character, okay, you are warning him this is not the end of my string. So you still use here double quotation. But again, how can you tell him that this double quotation is not the end of your string? So you need to give him a escape character. So you give him a escape character here. And then before again, you mentioned the double quotation just to make him not confuse that as the end of the string. So he, as a computer, he need to mark the start and the end of the string. So this is his start, this is the start, and this is the end. And not to confuse him, we have to put slash for any double quotations that need to be printed in the middle of the sentence. So far clear or confusing?
Clear.
Okay.
No, clear.
But you have to write that, please, after the class. Okay?
Sure.
Okay. So if we have, and this is actually important and really handy, because sometimes we need to add dynamically certain HTML code, and normally HTML code is multiple lines. So we can use, if we have a string that is consisting of multiple lines, we need to use these backticks. So this is a string, yes, but it is a string that is actually occurring on multiple lines, like what you are seeing here.
Okay.
Okay. So sometimes because JavaScript makes the pages dynamic. So it means that maybe there is a certain table that you want to really make it appear only when maybe the user enters certain password or enters certain information or certain action really happened. So you need to hide that HTML code, and you put it maybe in a string like that, and only you make it appear if certain event happen. Okay, so that's actually handy. Okay, now, okay, so this is an example of a piece of HTML code that is being put using this backticks. Okay, this is not a single code, this is backticks. Okay,
backticks. Okay.
Okay, but let me check, please. So okay, now since I told you that I will share with you some information, practical information, let me try